Oh, I'm so glad you are with me today. I'm the book lady, and I always bring 2 books that I'm going to read to you. But guess what else I brought? I brought 2 friends. Well, one's not really my friend. She's my granddaughter. And then we have her friend Willow, who looks so beautiful today. Woo-hoo! Anyway, today we are reading 2 very different books. One is called Get on Your Bike. Now, I wonder what that's about. I chose this book, first of all, because it's a little taller than the other books, and that's fun. But I also just love the pictures. And as I read this book, you're going to discover that there's a little, there's a hiding contest, and we're going to find the things, okay? That's all I'll say. Then the next book we're going to read is funny. Cinderella-With dogs. Now you probably know the Cinderella story. This one's a little different. You girls are going to love this one. Cinderella-With dogs. Okay, let me tell you who wrote that.
Funny.
Linda Bailey. Linda Bailey wrote this book. It's funny. All right, let's start out with our first book, shall we?
Yes.
Yes.
Bobby and William were having an argument. It went kind of like this. Why do you always have to keep on? Well, you don't ever. And then someone said something about spoiled. Something flew through the air, but it didn't hit anyone. William shouted, "Go on! Just get on your bike and leave!" Woohoo! I'd say they're having a fight, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They are.
So that's what Bobby did. There was look what I brought. Oh, here. There was a thundercloud in his head. Lightning flashed between his ears. You know what that all means? He was mad. Where should I go? Thought Bobby. Well, the light straight ahead was green. Straight ahead, said Bobby. Now, do you see Bobby in this picture? He's not really easy to find, but I found him. He's right there. Bobby is a panda. All right. Bobby biked down a long road. Angry words crashed inside his head. Oh, that William, that buffle-brained William. And now and then he passed a tree or a house, and then there was nothing for a while except for someone selling ice cream. I still see him. Right there. See, what's interesting in this is that Bobby's kind of the star of the show right now, but he's not easy to find in the pictures. He came to a big intersection. Do you guys know what an intersection is?
I do not.
It's when
I don't.
you got this road and you got this road. This is the intersection. It's where 2 roads come together, and you have to decide, am I going to go straight? Am I going to turn? Or am I going to turn? An intersection. Well, where should I go, thought Bobby. The light for left was green. Left, Bobby said. He was still thinking about pudding-headed William. But the sun was shining and a bird was singing too. Bobby biked along a busy road. Cars were whizzing by. All around him, they were honking, hooting, and hollering. He came to a barrier with a red light beside it. A barrier. That's something that you can't get through. Maybe it's like on a railroad, has those arms that come down, or it could be a wall, but he came to one. And it had a red light beside it. Where should I go now, thought Bobby. The light turned to green and the barrier lifted. Straight ahead, Bobby said. For the longest time, Bobby stood still. In every direction, he saw cars and trucks vans and double-decker buses, mopeds and bicycles. He wasn't thinking about William anymore. William was stored away inside the junk room in his head with all the other things he never thought about, scribbled out drawings and, the broken kite that wouldn't fly, William's flat back tire. What he was thinking about now was the other side of the water and where to go and what to do next. See, the barrier came up and he rode on with all these other people onto what's called a ferry. A ferry is a large boat that takes you across the water. You want to go over there to a store or to a restaurant, you take a ferry and it takes you across. It's not for long trips, just little short trips. And on a ferry, you can drive your car or your motorcycle. Yeah. Bobby discovered that the other side of the water looked just like his own side, only emptier. Here and there he saw a house. Now and then he passed a tree. There were more frogs, though. And perhaps the sun was shining a little more brightly, but the grass over here was just as green. Where should I go now, thought Bobby. Then he heard a noise behind him. It sounded like lots and lots of bikes whooshing down the road. Wonder what that could be. Bobby looked over his shoulder. It was lots and lots of bikes whooshing down the road. And they'd all passed him, Bobby thought. I wonder how William's doing. Is he still angry with me? Bobby wasn't nearly as angry as before, but now he was hungry. Bobby pedaled on for a while. At the next intersection, the left light was green, and the one after that, too. He thought about what William had said. Maybe sometimes I could, maybe I shouldn't always keep on. Beneath him, the water flowed. The right turn light was green. So see, if the water's flowing beneath you, you must be on a bridge. And he's going to turn right. I just think this is an exciting picture. Everything is going on in that picture. Do you girls want to see it?
Yes.
I mean, we have someone selling stuff, lots of bicycles. That looks like a little bus, cars, other boats. It's a great picture.
I know where I found him.
It looks like it's crowded.
Oh, you found him?
Yeah.
He's right there. He's just come across the bridge. There he is.
It looked like it's crowded there.
Very crowded.
Yes.
Bobby came to a long road, and he started pedaling faster. The wind helped him a bit, so it must be the wind was blowing, at his back, so it was sort of pushing him. A long stretch of nothing flashed by in no time at all. The trees and houses had never whizzed by so quickly. He's really in a hurry. He's heading home, I would say. William was waiting at the door. I've been thinking about it, and perhaps I could. And he looked a little embarrassed. Never mind, said Bobby. I was actually thinking something like that myself. They went inside and had dinner at the kitchen table. It nearly did get spoiled, though, said William, and it's cold now, too. Bobby just smiled. Tomorrow, he thought, we'll get on our bikes and go for a ride together. Have you ever had a little fight with, let's say, maybe a cousin, a brother, a sister? I mean, you're mad. And have you ever been told by your mother or father or maybe a babysitter, that's it, you're going to time out? Time out, time out. I was never quite sure what time out meant, but it meant you were getting out of that room and going somewhere else. Well, guess what? That's what Bobby did. They were having a fight, and it was not pretty. And so William said, get out, go ride your bike. And he did have quite an adventure. But do you notice as he was riding his bicycle, William, thunderstorm, and it was starting to kind of go away. And he said that it started to be in his brain like all that other stuff that happens to all of us. And we just sort of forget about it. You know, like you're flying a kite and the kite broke. Right there in that moment, you're upset. But a few minutes later, it's in that junk room in your brain. Now, you know what I think? It's probably good, you guys. Do you think it's good to now and then we have that junk room in our brain? Clean it out.
Yeah.
Get rid of that stuff. Who cares about that? And have you ever had a fight with your cousins?
Yes.
Yes. Have you ever had a fight with your brother?
Yes, I had a fight with my brother, but he went to timeout, not me, though, because he started it.
Okay, he went to timeout.
Same with my brother.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The timeout is supposed to be time for you to get that, first of all, take that fight and put it in the junk room, and then just get rid of it. Because it's not important.
Because you
it says time in its name.
That's right. Time. And it does. It takes a little bit of time. Because it's okay to get angry. And it's okay to be mad. It's all right. But then step away. Go ride your bike. Go get on the swing set. Go do something. Get away from whatever's making you. Do you know what? I like to knit. You know, I'm knitting away. And sometimes I make a mistake. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself. But do you know what? I don't go back and fix it. I set it down and I go do something else for a little while. Get that out of my head. Then when I come back to it, I feel better and I can pick at it and fix my mistake. It's not that big of a deal. That's a lot of the reason I like this book. But I also like the fact that Bobby, who most of this book is about his bike ride, which is also his time out, he isn't the front and center of the pictures. You have to kind of look for him. Now, you found him once, Willow, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is our next book, guys. This is Cinderella with dogs.
It sounds really hilarious.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get a few things out. Yep. Because I happen to love dogs. People who know me know that. I even have this scarf, and you know how the book lady loves a scarf. Oh, do I have it upside down or something? Anyway, guess what it is? It's covered in dogs. Yeah. Crazy. Someone want to put this on?
Me.
Okay. Then I have, this is a dog I had named Simon, and those are his little footprints. Little Simon's footprints. Then I got us all some jewelry. Put that on. Put that on, Cece. I'll put mine on. If you look closely, they're dog biscuits. But for us, they're necklaces. See, we could be fancy with our diamonds. But not for this book, let me tell you. Is there anything else in here? Oh, yeah. I brought a picture of my dog. because I want her to be here with us as we read Cinderella with dogs. My dog died recently, and it made me very, very sad, but I love looking at her. Some people think she's ugly. I think she's beautiful, and don't argue with me. Okay, thank you. Linda Bailey wrote this book. Let's find out about it. Oh, poor Cinderella, lonely and sad, was sweeping the ashes from the fireplace. Everyone else had gone off to the ball to dance. She had to stay home and work. Poor Cinderella never went anywhere. She never had a single bit of fun. Ever. Oh, if only I had a fairy godmother. Suddenly, the door flew open. Here I am, your fairy dogmother. Woof. What? Did you say dog mother? Indeed I did. Oh dear. I'm supposed to have a fairy godmother, not a dog mother. The dog hung her head. You mean you don't want me? Now Cinderella knew how it felt to be unwanted. She also happened to be very fond of dogs. Well, I suppose we could give it a try. Oh, good, because you need some cheering up. Let's chase squirrels. Squirrels? But she followed the dog outside, and soon they were chasing squirrels all over the lawn. Cinderella was surprised to find that she did feel more cheerful. It was the first time she'd been outside in weeks. Oh, that was fun. Aren't you going to get me ready for the ball? Ball? Ball fetch? Fetch ball? No, not that kind of ball. It's kind of like a fancy dance. You're supposed to, dress me up. I am? Well, why didn't you say so? She reached into her tutu and she pulled out a magic wand and waved it at Cinderella. Woof, poof. Oh, I wonder what happened. Holy moly. What's this? It looks like an old dog blanket. That's exactly what it is. Doesn't it smell divine? Cinderella gave it a sniff. It wasn't a regular ball gown, but it was cozy, and she did love the little fleecy bits. So she smiled. Let's smile. Because she's wearing a dog blanket. Perfect! Now your hair. And she waved her wand again. Poof! Woof! Cinderella ran over to the mirror. Oh my goodness. I look like a poodle. You do? Oh, I'm so jealous. You got to see that. Love it? It's poodle hair. Well, what about shoes? Overrated. Somebody put booties on me once and they just fell right off. Cinderella shook her head. I can't go to a ball barefoot. Oh, very well. And the dog reached into her tutu again. I still have a couple of those booties. You look fabulous. Time to go. Go? Aren't you supposed to make me a fancy carriage with horses and footmen? Well, I suppose I could. but it's so much more fun to run. Wouldn't you like a good run and a grand howl on the way? This is very different than the Cinderella we know. Mm-hmm. And it so happened Cinderella was very fond of running. Chasing the squirrels had reminded her. She had never tried howling before, but there was a full moon that night, and when the fairy dog mother burst into howls, it seemed natural for Cinderella to join in. All right, girls, let's howl. Oh, one more time. Oh. That'd be fun. And that's how Cinderella entered the ball, running and howling with puffy poodle hair and dressed in a wild woolly gown. Everybody froze in shock. The king and the queen, prince and princesses, duchesses, earls, lords, and ladies in waiting. A few people even fainted. But the king and the queen didn't faint, nor did the prince or the princess. That's because the royal family loved dogs. They had dozens of dogs. They couldn't get enough of them. And at that very moment, the royal dogs ran in. Cinderella dropped to the floor and gave each dog a hug. And I'll bet each dog gave her a kiss. Oh, she's a marvel, said the king. I adore her, said the queen. Love the hair, said the princess. Yowzer, she's amazing, said the prince. He asked her to dance. She said yes. And around they danced all evening, and the dogs danced too. The prince was enchanted. But when the ball ended, they had to say goodbye. And that's when one of Cinderella's booties fell off. Look, said the prince as he picked it up. I will keep this precious slipper so that I can find you again. Don't worry, Cinderella said. Your dogs will find me anywhere. She was right. The very next day, the dogs tracked her down. And of course, the booty fit her foot. And of course, the prince asked her to marry him. Oh, well, thanks. But, I hardly know you. Why don't we have some fun together instead? Have you ever chased squirrels? And that's just what they did. Is that crazy?
Yes.
Yes. That's like a dog would do.
Yeah. She's like acting like a dog, but a bigger virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's like a person that's
I
like
think
a
it's
dog.
hilarious. I think that she wore that dog blanket. I know. Gwenny had a blanket she loved, and it did have a smell. It had that dog smell.
I know.
And imagine wearing that like to a ball.
It would be so crazy.
And do you know, Willow, you have a crown on your head. That's what people wear to balls.
Mm-hmm.
But we aren't. We're wearing our dog biscuit necklaces. See?
Are these real dog biscuits?
Yes, so don't eat it. Or you can, I don't
They
care.
look like Scooby.
But we're not wearing our fancy diamonds, are we? No. We're wearing our dog biscuits. And I brought my little memories of my dog Simon and my beautiful bulldog Gwenny. And I thought that was a wonderful book. I loved it. And now it makes me want, yes, I got to go get myself another dog. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that book as much as we did. because Cinderella with the Dogs is a crazy book, but it's fun.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I got to tell you
I
something,
cannot
guys.
believe everything in that story.
I'll let you read the book again. All these books that I bring to you, I get at my library. The library is awesome. Yeah. And, they know me there. When I walk in now, they say, "You're the book lady." I say, "Yeah." And I'm looking for books for my friends. So if you ever have books that you think would be terrific to read on the Book Lady, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can watch the Book Lady right here on your television set, or you can watch the Book Lady any time of the day or night on what? YouTube. Now, I know some children aren't allowed to watch YouTube, and I understand that completely. But maybe if you can get your grandparents or your parents or your aunt or your uncle or someone, an adult in your life, to just go to YouTube and type in The Book Lady. Oh, there are so many episodes there. And I think we have read hundreds of books.
Like literally past 100.
Yeah.
Way more.
Past 100. We've read so many books.
Literally past 1,000.
And we have so much fun. So I hope that you will join us next time, because I'm going to the library and I'm going to find 2 more wonderful books just for you. And get on your bike. What did we learn in this book, girls? You don't have to raise your hand to me.
When time out is, it's when you have to take some time away from that problem.
And then what do we do?
Just knock it out of our head.
Get it out of there. Because if you have, when this doesn't have stuff in it, it really did sound like a thunderstorm. But when it has stuff in it, it doesn't. Messed up on that one. But when you're, I am so mad. I've been very, very mad at my husband. And you know what I do? I go down to the basement and I do some laundry and I just, because I don't want to make it worse. And then you realize a lot of the stuff I said was kind of mean. Yeah, probably also kind of stupid. And he has a little time. It also, do you know that when Bobby was out doing his big bike ride, guess what else? William was home alone. Probably what? Thinking about what he'd said. We all do this. We say things or do things that we wish we could put it in reverse. And make it go away. But you can't, so you go outside and, I don't know, hunt for butterflies. How about that?
Do something else without...
Yeah, something else.
Like, don't actually hunt, like catch them.
No, just look at them. Oh, yesterday, I was just looking because I was thinking of something that was probably not, what I call it? Stinking thinking. Stinking thinking means it's not so good to think about that. Don't worry about things. I looked out and I saw this squirrel going up the tree, biting off a little piece of leaves, coming down, and then setting it in there, up. He has made a giant nest. I'm going to have a squirrel family right out my window. Oh, swell.
And you hate squirrels.
I do. Okay. Oh, my friends, I was so glad you joined me today because I brought my 2 friends and I have all of you out there. And just remember, visit your library because there's some darn good books there. And I'm going to bring 2 more back to you in our next episode. And until our next episode, I want to say bye-bye.